In this video, I'm going to show you some significant updates to this very unique vehicle, the Redcat COE cab over axle hauler right here. All right, very intriguing, very unique vehicle, right? To familiarize yourself with this vehicle, I've done a bunch of videos. I got it in a box and I opened it and was like, whoa. But it had one significant weakness was it was too low. It seemed like it was only like 20 millimeters off the ground. So it could only do pavement. All right, part two, it turns out it had a very unique upgrade, which is it could have hydraulic suspension. It could lift up and down with just a link and a couple servos, but it could only lift 20 millimeters like this. And so I did an upgrade where it could lift like, 40 millimeters up, double the height. So now I was able to use it in more situations. And finally, here in my latest iteration, we want to use it for Proline by the Fire. Do some really, it carries a lot of dirt vehicles, some crawlers, and that's what we do. And now it can go on dirt right here. Look at this. And we gave it a significant lift. And let me show you this guy right here. And it's going to go, it's 60 millimeters off the ground. And look at that hydraulic suspension right there. Servo actuated suspension, independent as well. Uh-huh. Pretty cool, huh? So let me show you some running video of this guy right here. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you all about all the upgrades so you could do a similar mod on your Redcat COE hauler. All right, here's some test run video. Look at that. Look at that stance. It looks like a truck now. Lowriders are cool, but they really have limited usability. So here, it is cool, but it's usable. Look at that. I could never get over that bump before. And only the rear is dropping. And the way that's done is we just disconnected the shock from the lever. We just mounted it to the chassis. Just a little idea. Easy to put it back, but it does put a lot more stress on the servo, especially with a lift this high. And right there, it used to be 3.5 miles an hour. Now you can go over 10. And it's much more programmable, the motor, and much easier to control, and it powers the servo with 8 volts instead of the traditional 6 volts. And look at that, a little bit of drift. Something interesting is, since this is a rear-wheel drive only open diff, it can turn pretty tight for the size of the vehicle. You could really slam the steering radius. And right there, this had no chance before. Only thing is it can get bogged down because it's open diffs. So we are curious about locking the diffs, or at least putting some heavier diff fluid so it can grip a little bit better on the loose. And right there, oh, what fun. And a 60 millimeter independent drop. Pretty cool. Okay, pretty cool running video, right? It's just in the backyard, and now it's really fun and usable. Okay, so the upgrades are, first of all, I did a brushless motor system. The one other problem I didn't mention was it could only go 3.5 miles an hour. It was very slow. It was like slower than a crawler. So I put a brushless motor in it with a lot of torque so it can haul more stuff, and it can actually be pretty fun, especially on the steepest grades. So brushless motor, and then, I changed the tires. So the tires are kind of like this, kind of lowrider. And this was kind of the an issue I had with this vehicle was it was just built for the lowrider crowd. So, but it's a work truck, so it's not really a lowrider. So it had limited. It was kind of a showpiece, and I wanted it to be more usable. Right here, I put the white walls on with the help of Patina Guy. And also, Patina Guy also gave me this bed that he custom makes. A big steel aluminum sheet and wood. It just kind of plops on, held on by these wheel chocks. All right. So on to the upgrade. So I changed the tires to these. You know where I got these from? These are from the FMS Jimny, and also their Willys Jeep. It's more traditional tractor style tire, Jeep style, and then I was able to double them up on the rear like this one, just bolting them two of them together, getting some, and then the offset was critical. I had to get the wheel spacing right. Randy was the one who initiated all these changes, by the way, and he was not gonna let me show this with the wrong offset. So I got the offset right. Amazon, and in the front too, and still got my steering right there. I put longer shocks. The shocks that come with it are like 65 millimeter shocks. I put 80 millimeter shocks, front and rear, so it gave them even higher. The tires made it even higher, and now and also we decided to just make hydraulics on the rear. That way, it's easier load on these very high powered servos, and it would have no problem whatsoever because it's more realistic anyway. You don't need to lift, drop, and lift the front. It's really this is for so the cars can get on, and it has ramps as well. But super cool. So now I have suspension that's usable. The stock suspension on this guy is so stiff. It was made to carry a 20-pound vehicle, but it made it like almost like a rigid, and now it's usable. Really cool. You need really heavy damped oil, about 70 to 80 weight oil. Heavy springs, so you don't want a lot of sag, but you want it to actuate. Have a little flex when needed. So there you go, pretty cool. A couple more mods. Project's never done. Otherwise, I stopped playing with it. The paint on the cab. Randy really wants to do it, make it patina, make it old school style, match these the kind of the genre, the tires, and then a little more tuning on the suspension, a little heavier. Make sure it can handle the weight that we're gonna do. Check this out. I don't know if we're gonna do anything with this guy, but one of the cool things about this vehicle is you could buy this for 200, and it really works. And maybe some lights and sound, camera action, to get this to carry all our stuff in the events. Problem by the fire was one of the things in mind. But pretty cool, huh? What do you guys think?